Is yesterday's dip finally over? Looking at Bitcoin here before we go into the Ethereum price, you can see all this chop and the dip that Bitcoin saw, similar to Ethereum. Bitcoin dropped about 5.5%, where Ethereum dropped 6%, but we've had a recovery, and you can see the same in Ethereum. ETH dropped 7%, but since then, nearly half of that drop has been recovered. And it's interesting to see that in terms of the sentiment, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is still relatively fair. It's definitely not in euphoric stage. It's not ultra greed. It's just in the greed zone, which symbolizes a very healthy bull market, it has to be said. What I do want to draw your attention to is what the Bitcoin dominance is doing, because this is everything and anything to do with Ethereum's upcoming price action and where altcoins are concerned, which I know many of you are very excited about. And I've got some ideas on what's going to happen going into next week and into September. So stick around in a moment. But first, Bitcoin dominance, you can see it's had this bearish crossover. We know that Bitcoin has been falling. You can see it actually today, even. ETH is down 2.2%, where Bitcoin is down 2.5%. The trend continues. If you look at the last week, ETH is up nearly 19%, where Bitcoin is up only 2%. The trend continues. For the month, ETH's up 50%. Bitcoin's pretty much break even. So we know ETH's doing very well against Bitcoin, but how is it doing in terms of US dollar price action? So finishing off on Bitcoin, to answer that, we can see that this chart shows us what can be expected from Bitcoin should we not re-break this $120,000 level. We're currently retesting that for Bitcoin, and you'll see how this results for the Ethereum key levels in a moment. But right now, we are at resistance 119 to $120,000. We could potentially come back down to this 110, 112K level before we move up to that next level. Even though Ethereum's outperforming Bitcoin right now, it's going to be very, very difficult for ETH to put in its new all-time high, which I believe it will very soon, before Bitcoin at least breaks this $120,000 level. By the way, that's my Telegram trade community. It's free to access. I'll leave the link in the description below. Join my private Telegram. I'm posting all my real-time trade signals there. The community's chatting. Anyway, just join it. Link down below to gain access to that. So the other thing we need to look at here is Ethereum against Bitcoin. Now, ETH against Bitcoin broke this trend line. If you see where my cursor is, it broke this trend line here. But right now, it's breaking a higher time frame trend, a big trend line that goes back from 2017. When this trend line breaks for Ethereum against Bitcoin, it's inevitable that we will see Ethereum put in a new all-time high, and we can break way above 5, 6, 7,000 and beyond in a space of a very, very short amount of time. In terms of price action, this is the ETH chart on the 2 hour chart. You can see we've pretty much recovered that dip as I showed you at the start of the video. And the monthly level of resistance is strong. Yes, we broke these levels, the highs we created back in April of 2024 and December and January of 2025. But right now, we're contending with the all-time high levels, and there is inevitably going to be some chop and some resistance around that level. You can see on this chart, shows us these three levels. And actually, from a technical perspective, where a Fibonacci retracement level is concerned, we're looking at 5,250 up to 5,750, $6,500 as the next targets. If we do come back down further, $4,000 is the reaccumulation zone if you're looking at spot. But anything of it as a drop, like we saw yesterday, is a buy, in my opinion. I've got a trade open on Blowfin. I've showed many of you this before. I'm not taking any profits off the table. This is currently 1,400% in profit. Also have altcoin trades open, but more about that in my Telegram trade signals group. It makes more sense. I'm posting swing trades, scalp trade. We're discussing it with the community. So join there for my trading. It's better. And lastly, Ethereum ETF inflows, $120 million yesterday, despite the fear, despite the dip. BlackRock bought just earlier today $500 million worth of Ethereum. The market's still very bullish, guys. Don't be spooked out. In fact, I made a tweet earlier. If you saw this, or go to my Twitter now, follow me at @MarsLCrypto. I basically tweeted the following: stick to your plan, not your mood. And that's the message of this video. Ethereum exchange reserves, a lot of Ethereum flying off exchanges, going into cold storage. Good for staking, good for price action. It's very bullish, guys. Yes, price goes up, price goes down, but ultimately, we're still moderately early in the final leg of this bull market, in my opinion. If you want to really take advantage of the next few months, I do suggest to watch any of these videos, like my free bootcamp series, where I go into everything from risk management, stop losses, entries, take profits, and everything. You just go and watch that, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.